All right, first day in pads, and of course that's always an exciting day on some fronts, but probably guys had a lot of anxiety, and it showed early in practice. Had to get them going. The mental outlook wasn't what we wanted it to be, but we had a pretty enthusiastic spider drill, which kind of energized it, and we ended up pretty good. And so we got a long way to go, but there were some good things out there, and we'll just watch the film and get to the next one.
What's a spider drill for us?
Just like an old-fashioned Oklahoma drill,
okay.
One-on-one.
Yeah.
You know, so we line up an O-line and D-line, and in the second level we have a tight end linebacker going against each other and a runner going through a barrel. And so it was one of those first day in pads, fundamental toughness drills, and it kind of energized everybody.
Derek 21 wasn't out there.
Yeah, 21, Derek, he's got some things he's got to do internally, and when he does them, he'll be back. So it's kind of an internal team issue. And it's something he's just got to finish doing some stuff, and when he does, he'll be back.
So it's an indefinite suspension?
I wouldn't call it anything other than he's got to do some things, and when he does, he come back, and when he doesn't, he's not going to be here. So
Your impression is he plans to do the things and come back?
that's my impression, yes.
You spoken with him, and his desire to come back, Derek?
Yes. You know, he's got some things he's got to do to come back, and when he doesn't, he'll be back. It's really not a complex issue. It really isn't. So,
I mean, he made the indication last night via Twitter that he wanted to leave. That's why everybody's asking about whether it's his decision to come back or if he has.
I don't have any.
Come back or what.
I don't have any knowledge of him wanting to leave. He's never told me that, and indicated that to me or anybody else. So.
First day in pads, third day in camp. Is it frustrating to be dealing with something like this already?
Well, we deal with issues all the time, guys, and you know, I say it all the time. We got 100 guys we manage, and if you have kids, you got some days that are good and some days that are bad, and you're motivating guys, you're developing them, you're disciplining them. So it happens all the time. I think it's probably because of who he is and the success he had. It probably makes it a bigger story, and I understand that. So that's just part of coaching. You're never going to have a time where you don't have problems.
Derek, you've been through this before with other players. I mean, do you have a sense as a head coach where this might go, or do you just kind of wait and see how it shakes out?
Listen, my worries when I'm out on the practice field are the 90 guys out there. That's all I can focus on, and that's what the team's focused on. So it's just like a guy with an injury. You know, we can't worry about the guys that aren't there that day. We come in the next day, try to reshape things, and then we go out the next day and see who's out there. So it's all you can keep your focus on.
If somebody's hurt, you might know when they're coming back and have a time.
Not necessarily. There's a lot of times you have no idea when they're coming back. We got guys that have academic issues. I don't know when they're going back. You know, we got guys that have clearinghouse issues. Don't know when they're going to come back. So you just worry about what you got out there and you move on. And you're not going to sweat what's going on the periphery. All it is a distracting element.
Is it possible for him to do everything he needs to do to be back by Saturday?
Yes.
Does it change your practice plan at all?
No.
Day to day with him not out there?
Doesn't change anything.
So he could be back this spring? I'm sorry to interrupt
you. He could be back tomorrow. He could be back today. Yeah.
Regardless of the reason why, with him out there, with the other guys out there, what are you seeing from some of those younger guys? Maybe even a guy like Naz Oliver who hadn't
there's no question we're thin at wideout. Because Justin is limited. Derek was our most productive player. He wasn't out there today. Of course, we don't have DeAnthony, and so we're really thin. But that's okay. Our emphasis this spring is what? Running the football, and that's what we're doing. We're getting a lot better at it.
So Rachel would stay at tailback regardless.
That's what he's doing because we're running the football.
Derek, first day in pads in the spring different from pads in August, or is it about the same?
I don't know. I never really thought about that. First day of pads is usually about the same. The difference is in August, you got to wait a little bit longer. But it's always, you know, it's a new day, and it takes them a day to kind of get used to it. All right?
Switching topics to the 3-4 for a minute.
Yeah.
What guys would you say are maybe better suited to play that, or are there some that are not better suited?
Well, it's hard to say because I think some guys are good at any defense, no matter what they play in. Really what I'm looking at is body types. You know, you take a guy like, I think Jacquez is a good example. When he plays in a 4-3 and he's a defensive end, he's a little bit undersized. Doesn't mean he can't be good, doesn't mean he can't play, but just from a prototype what you want, he's a little undersized, but then when you stand him up as an outside backer, he's perfect size. So, you know, that's a little, and I think Malik would have been a good example of that. You know, he was a 270-pound guy. Doesn't mean he wasn't good. He was really good playing on the guard, but when you move him out a little bit wider, he becomes possibly even more dominant. So it doesn't necessarily mean they can't play in the other and can't be effective, but when you look at kind of prototype, what you're looking for, your body, you're trying to slot the body types in the right spot.
Does that kind of apply to Marlon being, you know, 285 plus?
Marlon's a good example too. You know, Marlon struggled when the tighter you move down there, because you know, think of it this way: I got 630 pounds coming at me on a double team. All right, versus I'm out here now. I got either a tight end or a single block coming. Big difference.
Vincent improved Vincent Dallas. I mean, he's been in a position to capitalize.
Yeah, he's making a lot of progress, and you know, work in progress. But he's getting a lot of reps. Good opportunity for him.
Did you guys, are y'all changing anything like from a schematic standpoint on offense, or is it just really defense that's getting a lot of the schematic changes?
Most of the schematic changes are defense. So offense and special teams, you know, we have a lot of continuity in what we're doing.
Mo Couch, I guess, is a little lightweight for being a nose tackle, but what is he, I guess,
a little bit, and you know, and again, and this goes back, Mike, to what you're asking. We're not exclusively 3-4, you know, so we're going to play some 40. We're going to play a lot of 40. And a guy like Mo, I don't know, we'll see. He may be okay playing nose, but he might be suited more for a one-on-one matchup with a guard. And so that's where you got to have that flexibility.
Is there any way that his quickness helps with that nose, or do you really just want a big guy that can kind of take
the most important thing is mass, you know, not getting moved. Now, the quickness helps, especially when they're trying to single block him. You can beat the center. So, you know, when you're playing a zero head-up nose, you want mass. If a guy's quicker, you might can tilt him a little bit, get him on the edge.
How many different guys are y'all working at center right now? And are y'all differentiating between if they're under center and in the gun?
No, but we're working Bullard, we're working Crowder, we're working Gooch, and we're working Curbison. 4 guys.
Is there any worry with playing some 40 and some 3-4 and some other things that, I don't want to say it gets too complicated, but it throws more on the guys than just, okay, we're a 40?
Yeah, I mean, but it's the, you know, never-ending dilemma of being simple but not enough, or being enough and we don't know what to do. And it's something you battle all the time as a coach. And I think schematically you want to do as much as you can do to put the players in a position to have success. And simple's good sometimes, but it also, you have a hard time, you know, creating plays on defense. Complex is good because you got a better chance to stop guys and create plays and create negative plays, but the downside is it requires a lot of learning. Okay.